You're watching the AWCI Build It Network. Coming up next, it's the 35th Annual AWCI Pinnacle Award, the wall and ceiling industry's most prestigious recognition of individual lifetime achievement for the benefit of AWCI and the industry. This year's recipient has built a reputation based on a lifelong passion for family, community, and construction. It all began at the breakfast table.
They used to call him the Cheerio Kid when he was a toddler, and he would use those like Tinker toys and build structures in the living room out of all these massive stacks of Cheerio boxes. And then he discovered his father's tools, and his dad's workshop tools became his best friend.
The parents of Kenneth Peter Navratil Jr. were young, poor, and hard-working. His father's family emigrated from Budapest, Hungary. His mother was 100% Italian.
They were just the salt of the earth people. I mean, they were the nicest people you'd ever want to meet. I think both our parents gave us a lot of direction, a lot of areas to take to the next generation, like work ethics, honesty, integrity, take care of your family.
For several years, Ken's mother took care of her niece, Anne. Ken became her protective big brother.
Everyone thought we were twins when we were little.
Despite his childhood responsibilities and goals, Ken still found time for shenanigans.
I was a lifeguard at our community pool in Lexington, and he was the bratty kid. I could have strangled him on a regular basis. He'd strut into the pool, and then it was just chaos for hours while he was there, because he would just break as I said, he broke every rule that he could possibly break.
Many of the friends Ken made as a child remain in his life today, including one little girl who used to ride the school bus with him.
We all thought he was pretty dreamy, as they say in the 60s.
Ken spent hours watching his dad tinker in his modest workshop in the corner of the garage. It fed his need to know what each tool was for and how to use it. Using this newfound knowledge, one day Ken borrowed his father's tools to build a tree house. The tree was located on property that didn't belong to the Navratils. Ken's little brother joined him in the hideout and brought matches. The tree house and the trees around it were engulfed in flames.
And it made the paper, and the two of them never, ever told their parents until they were like in their late 30s that it was those two that burnt this area down, and Dad couldn't figure out where all his tools went.
Coming up next,
frankly, he was like a sponge. I mean, he just picked up information, digested it, and was able to run with it.
Ken's parents taught him that if he wanted something, he had to work for it, and young Ken took them at their word. By the age of 12, he was mowing grass for a neighbor who developed tract homes. 2 years later, Ken joined the company's painting team and helped reduce the number of days it took to paint each house by 30%. He was promoted to the framing crew, a job that helped put him through college. As soon as Ken graduated high school, he joined the Air National Guard. As an aircrew life support specialist, he wanted to serve his country while earning money for college. With an eye toward a career in construction, Ken added engineering courses to his architecture major at Ohio State. He graduated in 1974. When we return,
when Ken sets his mind to something, it gets done.
Ken and Elaine had been friends since 4th grade. But when Elaine got sick at college and came home for surgery, something in their relationship changed. Ken took it upon himself to tell Elaine's college boyfriend to prepare himself for a breakup when she returned to school. Ken and Elaine have been together ever since.
They're, I would say, almost one. I mean, they do almost everything together.
In 1974, Ken and Elaine married each other's best friend. Ken turned down an offer from the Air National Guard to go into pilot training for an opportunity to jump feet first into the construction business under the mentorship of a family friend.
Within 3.5 years, he was pretty much on his own, which is remarkable. that I could feel comfortable letting him go, spending company money or bidding and so forth after 3.5 years.
Despite his success in his new profession, Ken couldn't abandon his love of flying. He flew his own small Cessna planes for a while, then he made a thrilling discovery. He could build his own.
It was a little dangerous because you get a gust of wind and something that light and it doesn't go well.
One day he's out flying and all of a sudden he loses power. So naturally down he comes into a cornfield. Well, as he kind of gathered himself, he looks down and he can't see his legs. So he thinks he has cut his legs off, only to find out that he's mired up into the mud up to his knees. So he rolls around and gets out of the mud, walks back to the house, some reason still carrying the control stick, walks into the house, looks at Elaine and says, "I have crashed my plane." And I said, "Well, Ken, this is your lucky day. I have an ultralight about half built in my shop. How would you like to buy it?" And I got the look from Elaine that said that subject was over.
Well, the subject wasn't completely over, not until the day Ken parked it in the driveway.
I hear him start this thing up, and it was very loud. Started up, and the next thing I hear, it's totally dead, gone. And the propeller had come off, flown into their screened-in porch.
So at that point my mom said, "I think it's time to sell this and move on."
Back on the ground, Ken was building a solid reputation in the construction industry. Today, Ken is partners in J&B Acoustical with his brother-in-law, Mike Chambers. His nephews, John and Joel, also work at the firm, along with Ken's older son, Adam.
My father and my uncle have continued forward with what my grandfather started, and how you treat your customers and just being honest and fair with everyone, and that's helped us pretty much not have much of a downturn at all, which is unusual.
Did things kind of the old school way, which is the way I still do it, the way my father still does it. We still do hand takeoffs. We still use a lot of colored pencils and things like that. So we kind of share a kindred spirit there.
He is an excellent sounding board, but still I can go to Ken and say, I'm thinking of estimating this project this way. What do you think? Ken sits down right and says, "Yep, let's do this."
He likes to be on site, carries very good rapport with everybody in the field. The mechanics really appreciate and value his opinion. He's very mechanical minded, and he has a very good mind for design.
He's really super as a boss, really easygoing, treats everybody fairly, is kind to everybody.
Ever since he first sat at his father's knee in their tiny garage workshop, Ken has had a love affair with tools. The more the better.
He's got every tool imaginable that you can think of for woodworking. It's unbelievable.
As Ken's tool collection grew, so did the shop where he stored them.
The workshop is over 1,100 or 1,200 square feet. Commercial sized table saw, panel saw, vacuum system. Every year at Christmas time he'd get, a new or replacement tool. At a certain point he had 2 or 3 of each kind of tool.
His shop is impressive, but what's more impressive is the things that he's made.
But nothing has ever been more important to Ken than his family. When sons Adam and Aaron got old enough, Ken brought them into his workshop.
We started that off because we are a fixer-upper, do-it-ourselves type family.
We're always very busy. We were always building something or tearing something apart. Probably my fondest memories of hanging out with my mom and dad, brother, we had a lake house, and how as a family we helped build that lake house. I remember being a little kid staining all the interior trim. That was my responsibility. But the reward was, going jet skiing.
Over the course of their nearly 42 years of marriage, the Navratils have lived in 9 homes, 3 of which Ken built, and the rest that he completely renovated, often making some of the furniture too.
He's constantly changing things in his own home. You go in one day, one weekend, you look around and, oh, we got new lights, new cabinetry. Next thing you turn around, he just hung one of those barn doors in his house and repainted the living room, family room, maybe redid the bathroom, all in a weekend.
Now that son Aaron and his wife Andrea have 2 children, Ken's family tradition is passing to a new generation, starting with a pirate ship playhouse.
Watching my daughter, I think she was 2 at the time, and she had her plastic little hammer out, was working right next to Daddy Pops with a tool belt, helping extend the deck with my son Andre. He was out there with the screw gun, and just seeing them work together, he was so patient with my children.
The fact is, Ken Navratil has always been about building, but not just building structures or furnishings. Ken also is a builder of strong relationships, beginning with his family.
He's a very loving, very caring individual who is very hands-on with just about everything we do. He was a teacher, I would say. He taught us a lot.
I believe that the boys have inherited quite a few characteristics and qualities from their father. Probably the most important one is truth and honesty. When you give your word, you follow through. And I believe that sincerity and helping others is again, another 2 qualities that I believe the boys have picked up from their dad.
I learned from him and my mother that how important being with your kids and seeing every moment, what that means to me. Just being with our family, always being there for our children.
Building a strong community is another of Ken's passions. When the local high school began a soccer program, there was one big dirty problem. They had to share the field with the football team. Ken was approached with the idea of developing a soccer stadium.
That's when I really got to see him in action as a business person and somebody who has a passion for those types of projects.
So he went to the school board and they said, sure, we'll give you the field, but we can't give you any money. And Ken said, that's okay. I'll get a committee. We'll be a team. We will do this together.
To the point today, we have what most people say is one of the finest high school soccer-only facilities in the state of Ohio.
Ken has the whole toolbox, and he knows how to implement all the tools in the toolbox, and he applies them to his business life, his personal life, and his family life. Just totally open individual.
In 1974, Ken married into the AWCI family. His new father-in-law, brother-in-law, and wife were already members.
He was always one of the behind-the-scenes guy, trying to get deals done, trying to get things pushed to make the association bigger and stronger and better for the members there. He was always very involved with the trade show. He was always very involved with the President's Dinner. If there was a Pinnacle Award, he was always there to help.
When a former president of AWCI got nervous before a speech and started sweating profusely, he relied on Ken, the pragmatic problem solver, to get him through the experience with humor as well as efficiency.
The fact of the matter is, Ken is not funny. In fact, Ken doesn't even do funny, except when he orders milk in a bar and does a takeoff for AWCI.
He enjoys working with the staff, and the association does a lot of great things for our industry, just not in the US, but in Canada and worldwide now too.
In 2006, Ken volunteered to help build out AWCI's new office space. He did the takeoff for the steel. He did it on 16 inches on center instead of the plans for 24 inches on center. We had a whole lot of steel left over on that project.
The thing he's most passionate about with AWCI now is seeing younger people get involved and helping mentor them.
Ken, I just want to tell you congratulations on your award. You're the most deserving person that I could think of that would ever earn this award. Enjoy the moment.
Ken, congratulations on winning the Pinnacle Award. You once told me we could never pull this off, and we did it. I'm so proud of you. I want to thank you for your leadership in the association, your mentorship, and your friendship. Congratulations. It's a special day for you. Glad to be part of it.
Kenny, congratulations on being this year's recipient of the AWCI Pinnacle Award. You have earned it. You're a great friend to many in this room, and I am extremely happy for you. Enjoy your day and enjoy the rest of your life. I'm glad you're my friend.
Congratulations, Ken, on receiving the Pinnacle Award. Great job, buddy.
Ken, you really are a lot of fun to work with. Thank you for helping to make AWCI great. Congratulations on your much-deserved Pinnacle Award.
Ken, congratulations on winning the Pinnacle Award.
Congratulations, Ken, well deserved.
Carol and I would like to congratulate you for this honor. This is another milestone in a marvelous and outstanding career. Congratulations, Ken, from Carol and I.
Congratulations from your other little sister, Ann. I love you, Ken. I'm so proud of you and so happy for what you've accomplished.
I'm thankful that you're getting an award today, and I'm really happy for that.
Can't imagine anyone who deserves it more.
I can't imagine everybody that does it for.
Congratulations, Daddy Pops!
Right, Dad? I can't even begin to tell you how proud I am of you. You've been deserving this award for some time now. I'm glad it's your turn. Thank you very much for everything you've done. You were always there. The experiences in life that we got to have growing up, I would say 98% of kids don't get to see those type of things. And the travel, the places, you worked very hard to achieve those goals, and you've always worked very hard on your goals. I'm very proud of you, and I love you, Dad.
Congratulations, Dad, on winning the AWCI Pinnacle Award. You are well deserving of it and put a lot of time and effort into the industry and your family and your business, so congratulations.
Ken, my love, congratulations on a well-deserved award. Your parents would be so proud of your enthusiasm and dedication that you have brought AWCI. May this moment last a lifetime. I love you, and again, congrats.
Ken Navratil, the recipient of AWCI's 2016 Pinnacle Award.